This review will contain a rant. So if you do not want to hear the rant, then I will put timestamps in the video so this way you avoid the rant and just get to the end of the video. Otherwise, enjoy the review. So here we go. Hello and welcome to Lord Fenton Gaming Reviews Days Gone. I am your host, Lord Fenton. In today's review, we're going to find out if Ben Studio's game Days Gone is good or bad. As always, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. So let's get going with the review, shall we? Let's talk about the graphics. Oh my goodness, they are gorgeous even for today's standards, and it's on the PS4. And look at the cutscene right here. Look at the great details of the characters and even the scarring of these rippers and more. Let's examine more of the graphics. Even the field of depth view is very nice, and different terrain looks beautiful, including such as the snow coming up. Look at that snow. It looks very cool, very neat. It looks great and wonderful. It looks like you actually been through a winter. The details of this game is great too. I mean, it looks beautiful and gorgeous. Even looks great on the PlayStation 4 Pro, which is very good. This is not bad for a PlayStation 4 game overall, and looks gorgeous. Let me tell you all about the story. It is gorgeous, tear-jerking. It pulls your emotions everywhere. So what happens is the infection starts to spread. The zombies in the game are called freakers, and well, they start to multiply. This is the very beginning of the game right here in a long cutscene where Deacon sends his girl Sarah away, who's injured, onto a Nero helicopter. So you and your friend Boozer here has been roaming the world for 2 years ever since. So we're going to skip ahead to that right now, explain more about that. Now it's 2 years later, and Deacon and Boozer become drifters together, roaming around Oregon just to survive from the humans who are bad and the freakers who are infected humans in this game. Let me give you more great detail about the story. Even the characters in the game is great and wonderful. It gets you really immersed in the game. The main characters do, even the supporting characters. The survivors that you find are laughable, but still not enough to ruin the game. Even the flashbacks you will see in the story coming up are great and wonderful. You'll see pockets of those, and they are wonderful. Yes, the story overall is great and neat, and it's pretty good. Ben Studios knocked it out of the ballpark with the story, made you invested in the game with the characters and more. Let me tell you about the controls, except for range combat. They are great. Very easy to do stuff, like for instance right here, one button does it all. Melee is wonderful and fluid. And the controls are great in this game, real easy to use. I do mean it's real easy to use. It's even used when you craft items and more. Even reaching the map is simple. Just use the touchpads, either tap it or swipe it in a direction that's given you. It's real easy to use for the controls in this game. Really simple on this part of the game right here. Now let's talk about the perks and UI. Oh my goodness, the perks are really powerful. You start the game as a bit weak, however they are more powerful. Now range is the best perks, then survival, and then last melee. Now range has a powerful perk. When you first get it, you gain focus, which makes your aiming a little bit more easier. Without it, you're going to be fumbling through the entire game because focus isn't there and you're going to have a tough time. Now while we are at it, let's talk about the UI. Oh man, the UI is clean and nice. It's a little small, but still it tells you the repair symbols are your bike repairs, and your fuel can right there is your fuel. And also what is good though is your progress. It shows your story progression, collectibles, and trophies. Yes, if you're a trophy hunter, This makes life much easier. Overall, the perks in this game, UI is very good, very good. Oh my goodness, the difficulty. Ben Studios did a wonderful job with difficulty. Easy is like real easy for casuals. Normal's middle of the road. And then hard is the hardest difficulty. Until the recent patches add another harder difficulty, survival mode. Survival mode is really hard and really brutal. They did a great job of difficulty overall in this game here, so bravo Ben Studios on that. Oh my goodness, the weapons and items in the game are great, including the craftable ones and things you find. Now, this Molotov cocktail is one of the throwable ones. It's nice. Later on, you get better throwable ones too. Also, you can pick up recipe items such as kerosene. Now, you also have melee weapons are real nice. As for crafting better things, once you find the recipe, then you could pick up the new items too. For instance, gunpowder you cannot pick up right now at this point in the game. However, later on you could do it. Accessing the weapons via Radical menu is really easy, really simple there. Now, the guns are pretty nice too. Now, more you work with the camps, the better weapons you get. Now, when you get south part of the game, the Tommy gun's the best weapon in the entire game. You can mow down the horde. So right now you start off weak with weapons and items. However, the more you discover in the world, the better it gets, and plus it makes your experience a whole lot better. So they did a great job of that overall for crafting, weapons, and more in that department. Let's talk about the voice acting. Oh my goodness, they are wonderful. We'll get to Deacon St. John's voice actor, but for now, we're going to talk about the other voice actors in the game. For instance, I'm going to let everybody listen on a few clips of those, such as Boozer.
Look, let's just go back to O'Leary Mountain. We'll head out in the morning, find some parts, and come back and get your bike.
Including Iron Mike from Iron Mike's camp. His voice actor is wonderful.
And I know what kind of man he is. What he's done. He done any worse than you? Ricky? How about me?
Now, next up is Ricky from Iron Mike's camp. So let's listen on the voice actress's performance, shall we?
I've come out here a few times to see them. They stay in those old machine buildings and they come out every night like someone's ringing a dinner bell, right? When it's morning, they go back inside and what, hibernate?
Even Skizzo's voice actor was very good. You got me convinced him to hate the character, that is for sure. So let's listen in.
Wait, the old man told you that? Yeah, sure. Okay. I guess there's no harm in you being in the know, seeing as how you and your bro are part of the camp now.
Even Colonel Garrett's voice actor was wonderful. Those speeches were insane still. It got you immense though, as you were part of the militia. So let's listen in a little bit.
These past few days, dozens of new recruits have joined our ranks. We welcome them. We do not care about the color of your skin. We do not care what country you were born in. We do not care if you are a man or a woman.
Last but not least is Sarah. Oh my goodness. She gives out a nice commanding performance in the game. And melds well with the voice actor Deacon. So let's listen in a little.
Directions?
I'm really sorry. I don't know where Belknap, Belknap, that's the one. And I don't know where it is. I really can't help you. I'm sorry.
So no, then?
The voice acting in the game is wonderful. Even the survivors are hilarious. And the supporting characters are great. And even the characters I didn't mention for spoiler reasons are wonderful and great. Overall, the voice acting is AAA top quality.
Yes, I could.
Let's talk about Sam Witwer. Oh my goodness, he gives a great and wonderful performance in this game. Even from cutscenes to combat and more. No wonder he was great in Smallville, the Force Unleashed games, even the Clone Wars. So let's listen in on some.
Did you find anything out about Sarah, about the woman that I put on your chopper? Oh, I smell a nest. Gotta be right here. Where is it? God damn nest. It's gotta be close. There's another one. Time to burn.
As I said with the other voice actors and actresses in the game, they did a wonderful job. Sam Witwer stole the show for Days Gone. He gets you really immersed into the game, and it's great. So Sam Witwer, thank you very much. You were wonderful in this game. Now let's talk about the Horde. That's a whole bunch of swarmers, which are zombies in this game, all bunch up together, try to kill you. And it's fun, and it has an adrenaline rush to it, a big old rush. You could be stealthy and sneaky like I am right now to take out this Horde, or run for your lives and then take out the Horde while you're running away like this. Yes, it has a rush, definitely, the Horde. And one more thing about the Horde, there's the best Horde in the game. Now, the very best Horde right here is the Sawmill Horde. This Horde right here, you could either control the situation for a few moments, or you get one that is so sneaky, creep up upon you, and you have to start running for your lives, like this one coming up soon. Yes, the Sawmill Horde is very powerful, and you gotta get away real quick. If you don't, it will eat you up. That's the thing about this game that's great, is the Horde is very challenging, and you have to either plan ahead or die. I'm gonna give Ben Studios big time props for this mechanic in the game. The sound and music in this game is wonderful, especially the music when it's not copyrighted material being played, which is great and wonderful. So I'm going to give everybody a little taste of the sound and music in the game.
Another nest. Let's go. There's another one. Time to burn.
So overall, the sound is very good when you self-attack a foe, when you burn a nest up, and when the music, when it's not copyright material, gives you that creepy factor when you sneak it around, and then it jumps up into action when you get caught. Overall, Ben Studios did a wonderful job of the sound and music in this game that's not copyrighted. So let's talk about the missions and activities. From the story missions are great and wonderful to the side missions you get to do. Side missions such as killing a marauder's camp to saving a person inside a camp, and also doing bounty missions, which is really good and fun. There are also missions on the bike too, for instance knocking down Roach off his bike. Yeah, this is one of those bounties you just knock him down and bring him in. Now these missions, story, side, and activities are well worth to do. I just killed a Horde and gained Copeland Trust level 2, which is good right there. I mean, you just do these activities and story missions, they're well worth your time to do. Just invest in the game. The more you love the game and invest in it, the more fun it is. This game is definitely fun for the missions and activities, which is a huge plus for me. Now, the next part of the review is the bike. From using the bike, the controls, the bike system, and even the shops that has upgrades for the bike. For instance, if you're low on fuel, which I am at this point, I'm going to demonstrate in the red. If you run out of fuel, what will happen is you actually have to walk your bike back. Yep, it's realistic, folks. That means one thing only. You run out of fuel in your car, you gotta somehow get your car back. Put it in neutral, whatever you want to do. Still, you gotta do that. Still, it makes it feel great about the bike. Let's go further about the bike and its movements. Now, the bike and the movements are very fluid and nice to use. It's just like a real bike, which makes it perfect. Now, if you decide to hit a freaker with a bike, it actually damage it or break depending on how strong the freaker is. I love the controls of the bike. I even love the air when you get airtime on the bike, which is wonderful. Let's talk about the shops for the bike. Now, next up is the bike shop. You can upgrade your engine on the bike. You can upgrade nitros. You can upgrade anything else, as long as you have the trust level and the credits from each camp. Each camp does have different bikes you could do and upgrade and such. You can also paint your bike, and also better yet, you could put decals on it. That's correct, you could put decals on the bike too, which is really nice overall. I would say the bike system in the game and the controls for the bike is wonderful and great. And when you do these story missions and a bunch of story missions tasks in its group, you get rewards for it. For instance, if you get Hot Springs to Trust Level 3, you will get the Hot Springs design. If you complete He's My Brother storyline, you will get the He's My Brother designs. Overall, Ben did a great job of customizing the bike and the bike controls. Big time bravo on that. Now, next up is post-game content, updates, and more. For instance, back when I started playing this when it was on launch day, what happened was it was hard to find the nests and more until they did a nice patch where they actually gave you the actual location instead when you just find it. Just like this up ahead. Now, I'm even far away and it's not there, the nest. You were supposed to get close when the game was out initially. However, they did a nice patch and update that too. They also did more great updates as in the weapons when you pick up off the enemies. Now, before, looting and weapons used to be the same key. Now they changed it, makes it much more ease of life. Now the best part of the game coming up on post-game content is this. Now, besides adding survival difficulty, the hardest difficulty in the game, Ben Studios added challenges. That's right, these challenges come almost every week, and they're great. Some you have to clear out the horde the fast, some you have to deal with ambush camp rushes. You become different characters in the game. If you're tired of Deacon St. John, you can become Ricky, Iron Mike, a Nero Soldier, or a Boozer. And more characters locked throughout the week if you have the creds from each challenge. And there's also patches too. I believe that will get implemented into the main game once all the challenges are done and over with. So overall, you get to play your favorite characters from the Days Gone story and do these challenges for fun. You see right here, I'm playing as Booze Man, and it's really a blast. So Ben Studios did a wonderful job of keeping this game going after the release date, or after, I should say, after its shelf life. So bravo on that. Now let's talk about photo mode. Many games these days on the PlayStation 4 does take advantage of photo mode, some doesn't. Well, Days Gone definitely not only takes advantage of it, it's a wonderful tool. You can take some wonderful pictures. You can zoom in on, say, Deacon St. John. You can take them out of the picture, and you can also blur it up. You just get the mountains and more. So I'm going to show everybody a quick demonstration of my recent photo mode fun. You can take a nice picture of places such as Crazy Willie's up ahead. Really good place. And then Deacon crouching down, you can take a picture of him like that with the Days Gone logo. And the best part is you can take a picture of this cute little puppy that I spread all over the internet in a place called Twitter. So overall, Ben Studios did a grand job of photo mode, and you should take advantage of it. It's a wonderful tool in this game. Now, let's talk about the batting game, starting with the end boss fight encounter. I was expecting a gunfight like this. I was disappointed that it was none like this. Once you get to this point, that was a great point. Afterwards, it was a bit of a disappointment. I kind of wish they would have worked more on the boss fight. I was totally disappointed in that aspect of the game. They had other great boss fights such as the Rager, Carlos, the Reacher, and the Bruiser, and more. This part I was disappointed in, I'm afraid. Now, I said the sound music was wonderful and great. However, this game is not streamer friendly. There are other games such as Ubisoft's latest games, and the Borderlands Game Year Enhanced Edition has the option to make the game streamer friendly. Unfortunately, it is not streamer friendly due to copyright material. I cannot put out this wonderful song because I believe the copywriters should make money off of it. I was disappointed that I was like solely Disappointed that we had to edit a few times to edit out the music. There might have been some conversations going on. I was disappointed in that overall. I wish Fenton Studios would have had a streamer-friendly option, so this way you could listen to Deacon talk or Boozer talk while the copyright music was being omitted. Instead, you have to just mute everything if you're a YouTuber, a Twitcher, or a Mixer. Now, there were bugs and glitches in this game. First of all, there was the save game bug. If I remember right, it was resolved, but still, it shouldn't happen like that. That's why you should always back up your saves, especially in modern game days today, to back up your saves. And there were some bugs too. For instance, this mission was buggy. I had to start it up a few times. That's why I'm showing it. And there was also some graphical glitches. For instance, a bruiser grabbing a freaker, and a freaker was a few feet away. Still, it was buggy and glitchy. I kind of wish Q&A would have put some more work and love into that department. Now, there are frame rate issues in the game. Now, this scene is not with frame rate issues. However, there's other parts of the game had some. For instance, if you rode too near a horde, it might slow your game down, or it might just stop it completely. Yeah, there were frame rate issues until they recently patched most of it up, but still, I advise not riding near the horde anytime in the future. You might get some frame rate issues, despite the fact that the game is beautiful. Now, this game, for ranged weapons such as guns and crossbows or even sniper rifles, the aiming mechanism is bad. It is not like the Uncharted series, I'm afraid. Despite the fact that melee combat is perfect, bike controls are nice, and stealth is great. Unfortunately, this game suffers in the gun department. Even though I did get a headshot, but still, the gun department is not easy to aim at times unless you invest in a perk that gives you focus. And focus, that's when you slow things down so you could aim properly. I was disappointed in that a bit. Some of the professional reviewers hated that, but still, I kind of wish they would have retweaked on the aiming system and make it much better. Now, the last part of the game I didn't like was there was some predictability in the game. Yeah, the game was predictable in one or two instances of the game. I'm not going to spoil what was predictable, but still, I was a bit disappointed in that. The other parts did surprise me, except for the predictable part of the story. Still, it's a great story. It does have a bit of a predictable part, and you know when you see it. What is my final verdict for Days Gone? Buy it or not buy it? Buy it at 10% off! Despite the fact that the game has frame rate issues, bugs and glitches, and some of the aspects of the game that's bad, this is a very good survival horror game. I say Fenton Studios' Days Gone's like Uncharted 1. And if they do resolve the issues from the first game and make the second game better, then Days Gone 2 would be exactly like Uncharted 2, a mega hit. So that is it for my review. If you all are going to be staying for the rant coming up about video game journalism, then stay there. Otherwise, I'll put timestamps in the description and in the comment section so you can skip towards the end portion of my video so you could go watch my other reviews. Now, here's my rant about video game journalists. I'm going to put these quotes out I found from all over the web. I am not going to even give them hits, so this way y'all will not have to suffer through their reviews. My four main problems are this with the video game journalists. Number one, they put their personal feelings into the game instead of actually reviewing the game. That was my problem there. I don't care if Deacon's a macho man wanting to say all women, or I don't care if two women are kissing the game. Deal with it. It's the developer's vision. If you don't like it, too bad. Look for other aspects instead of putting your own personal spin into the review. Now, second, I believe some of these video game journalists listen to the fanboys and girls. Yeah, they listen to them more instead of listening to the actual gamers who actually play games instead of posting all day on their website, so they get little hits. Yeah, that was a big problem right there. Little hits that poison their website. Third, I felt like they rushed the review out. They rushed through the game. One of the reviewers I read I felt like they only play a certain point in the game and then said, "Oh, that's it. Here's my review. There's the score." When I review games, I review playing everything of it. If I gone for the plat, say on PlayStation system game, I do it. If I get to the end on a PC game, I review it. If I don't play the game, I do not review it. That's their problem is they rush through it, miss many points of the story, or play a certain point and say, "Oh, that's it right there." Last but not least, I think it's the worst type of video game journalism ever. Review the game so it gets a bad score, and then people comment on it for it hits their pathetic websites. Yeah, it has been done since the last generation. It's a very bad and horrible taste practice. For instance, there was this bad game when it was out in the last generation that every other site gave it a bad score for a great reason, until this one site gave it a very high score for no reason. Well, that's what happened with Days Gone. Some of these websites say, "Alright, let's give it a so bad score and then we'll have people pay attention to our website so we get the hits." That's the worst type of video game journalism ever. Those types of sites I definitely turn off on. And if you want my advice about reviews, here it is. My advice about reviews is check out what the gamers has to say. Not so professional journalists who are putting their own personal aspect into it, who listen to fanboys and girls on their websites, also who rush through the game so they could get it out ASAP, or the worst case, do it for hits. Instead, go over the internet and talk to other gamers who enjoy the game, who are not fanboys, who actually will tell you the truth. Also visit video websites such as YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer. Any of those sites who review games, you should definitely visit. Reason being is that they do tell you the truth. I'm going to give my personal shout out to all the YouTubers who actually did honest reviews of games, especially this one right here. So I'm going to give every one of them a salute. Well, that's it for my review of Days Gone and Rant on video game journalism. This is Lord Fenton signing off. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.